This is the itel A60 4G, apparently the cheapest brand new 4G phone you can buy. It retails for 45,900 naira. So what do you get for that price? Let's find out. For a phone that costs 46,000 naira, they do give you a lot of stuff in the box, even a plastic phone case. But the star of the show is the phone itself. I think this is definitely a good looking phone. It has a nice matte pattern finish on the rear, which is great for hiding fingerprint marks or smudges. We've got a camera module to the top left. It houses 2 cameras, 1 flash and a fingerprint sensor. I think keeping the fingerprint sensor inside that module gives it a more polished look. So I'm a big fan of that. Then we have itel branding on the bottom left of the phone, which gives it an overall minimalistic look. As for colors, there are 3: dawn blue, sapphire black and daylight green. This is the blue one. At the top of the phone, you find the headphone jack. At the bottom, you see the mic, micro USB port, and the speaker. On the right side, you'll find the power and volume buttons, and on the left, you find the dual SIM and micro SD card tray. This has support for 2 4G nano SIMs. It's safe to say 4G is the A60's thing. Its predecessor, the A58, only supported 3G. So with 4G, you get faster download speeds, more stable calls. I think that on its own makes it a worthy upgrade. Turning the phone around, you notice that they went with that familiar teardrop notch, which is definitely fine for this price point, and we can say the same thing about the bezels. It's fine. As for the display, it's 6.6 inches, so big enough. Its resolution is 720p, and it's an LCD panel. I felt the display looked fine. I watched some YouTube videos on it. Surprisingly, you can watch videos at 1080p on YouTube, and I thought the quality was good. It was sharp and colors were okay. And if you were wondering, the refresh rate is 60Hz. I want to talk about software for a bit. It's running Google's Android 12 Go edition, but I specifically wanted to mention how nice it looks. I like the new notification drawer, also how the UI matches the color of your wallpaper. Reminds me of Material U, which kind of gives your phone a different look every time you change your wallpaper. And also there are a lot of cool wallpapers preloaded on here. So I would say I really like the look of this phone. I mentioned earlier that I liked how they designed the back of this phone, especially the camera module. I also mentioned it has 2 cameras on the back, an 8-megapixel primary lens and a secondary AI lens. So really one camera. And on the front, there's a 5-megapixel selfie camera. And I would say with decent sunlight, it's fine. Cameras usually are not the best at this price point, so it's just about what I expected. Okay photos. It's running a Unisoc SoC. It's the SC9832E processor with 2GB of RAM and 32GB of storage, which can be expanded thankfully up to 128GB using an SD card. Navigating the phone is not buttery smooth, clearly because this is an entry-level chipset for an entry-level phone. And in order to keep the price of this phone down, sacrifices had to be made, so I guess performance was one of them. So if you're a serious gamer or a heavy phone user, then this might be a problem, but that's not to say that you can't game on this phone or you can't multitask. You can play some light 2D and 3D games. You can also have a couple apps open at the same time. But one tip I'll give is to make sure to have enough storage on your phone. Get an SD card, maybe even 128GB, because the more space you have, the better your phone will perform. But even with that, you should still expect that while navigating the phone, opening apps, changing the wallpaper, for example, everything takes just a little bit longer. But this wouldn't be a problem for those perhaps getting their first phone, like your kid or your elderly grandparents, because they're not heavy phone users. So I still think that this is what you get, an entry-level budget phone. So for $70 or 45,900 naira, this is the most affordable, brand new 4G smartphone in 2023. Or at least for now. So should you buy this phone? Well, like I said earlier, if you're a heavy gamer or a heavy phone user, then obviously this isn't for you. And in fact, I think you should up your budget a whole lot. But if you need a phone with really good battery life, a nice enough display, a camera to take photos every once in a while, you're fine with a little delay when opening apps, and I think more importantly, you're on a tight budget, I don't think there's a better phone for 46,000 naira. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the itel A60. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you when you see me.